your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving
football
you.
Coach Joey McGuire. Today is the first day of spring football. They'll practice some this week, then have spring break, then finish it up after spring break. So that'll be at 7 this morning. A little upon further review of our Spelling Bee Challenge. We've had a quick meeting, and we are going to have our Spelling Bee Challenge presented by Scogg & Dickey as part of the Lubbock Regional Spelling Bee, brought to you by Sonic on at about 7:50 after the boom, 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 because that's when the kids are in the car and they want to hear the spelling bee. Right, Snead?
I agree.
Yeah, so we'll do that. So the Lubbock Regional Spelling Bee presented by Sonic is coming up March the 22nd, and we'll have that at the Y. And our Spelling Bee Challenge, brought to you by Scogg & Dickey, will come up at about 7:50. All right. Some things here from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. All right. Somebody asked me about Moody Coliseum, UT's new facility. Well, first of all, they're not in the Big 12 anymore.
Bless the mood. Bless the mood.
I would tell you it's very nice. It's not a basketball arena.
It's a concert hall.
It is.
They play basketball in.
I would
Bless
not.
the mood.
I would not, and this is part of how I base this too. I wouldn't want to go there every night.
Bless the mood.
I wouldn't want to go there every night. So that's kind of how I look at that. Somebody asked this.
Somebody help me out. Bless the mood.
What did y'all think about the Arizona State player that didn't join the huddle during a timeout late in the game?
That's something.
Wasn't it also an ASU player that went straight to the locker room after fouling out in our first matchup? I'm not sure about that.
I don't know.
Hurley should have chewed their butts out right then and there. Yeah, I think I would have sent that guy to the locker room. I'd send him to the showers.
Did you?
If that'd been me.
I was watching the 60 Minutes yesterday.
Didn't see it.
Well, they did a thing on Dan Hurley.
Yeah.
That's a weird dude, man.
I think he's got little man syndrome.
I think you're right. I think you are. I think you are dead on with that.
Even though he's won 2 national championships, it's like Bobby Hurley is still a Duke. You know what?
Okay, a Duke blanker.
A Duke? No, he's a Duke
blank.
Duke blank. I mean, There's no ing to it. He's just a Duke blank. He still is. And his brother Dan is got little man syndrome.
He does, and it's not so much
really
little. I think it's little brother syndrome, because when he was at Seton Hall, he'd get, they showed highlights of the crowd just going, "Bobby's better."
I'll tell you, I heard a great chant by the court gestures over the past few days at the Big 12 tournament.
I heard you talk about this, and I will tell you something. Go ahead and say it.
Are you going to poo-poo it?
I'm not. I'm going to tell you. Say it, and I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you where they got it from.
Okay. Well, everything is stolen in life, Chris.
It is. Everything is stolen in life.
Everything is stolen in life. Why? And here's the deal. If you were over here and you were talking about, I'm going to tell you something great that the court did. And then if I said, oh well, let me tell you something about it, you were like, oh, you're just going to be Mr. Pink Raider, Mr. You didn't go to Texas
the Pink Raider.
No, but
I'm not going to say the Pink Raider.
You would clearly chastise me for coming down on something that I think was pretty cool.
Okay.
I thought it was really cool. So when somebody missed a free throw, the Tech band, the court gestures, in a chant would go, "You let the whole team down." I thought it was awesome. You let the whole team down. Ba-dum-bum. Okay, where'd they get it from, Chris?
It's okay. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Stole it from the Saddle Tramps, but that's okay.
Oh, of course. Of course. You know
what? Here's the thing. When the first time I heard them say it,
why can't it just be
first time I heard them say it?
With?
The first time I heard them say it like 10 years ago, I said, "Guys, quit saying that."
Why?
I know, but that's why after further evaluation,
why you have to be a fun sucker?
I wasn't a fun sucker. I said that's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
and they actually, when they all said, when you let the whole team down. They actually started off, hey, you missed it. You let the whole
Somebody
team.
wants to know if we're just going to argue all morning.
Probably.
Probably.
Isn't that what you guys want? Isn't that? I mean, Jeff's over here. He's here for it. He's here. He's got the little Kool-Aid stick out there, stirring it up. You don't over there looking at me, AJ Duhey. No.
All right, 6:37 this morning here on the Morning Drive. So for the Red Raider basketball team, now they wait. I mean, they wait and prepare.
Yeah, they go double bye.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really kind of fun. 4 teams play another 4 teams to decide who gets to play the second set of 4 teams.
Yeah.
And then the second set of 4 teams play the winner of the first 8 teams, and then Tech plays the winner of that game. And so 2 teams are going to play. So was it Oklahoma State and Arizona State play to see who plays Baylor?
No. It's Arizona State and K-State. Arizona State's the 15 seed. K-State is the 10 seed.
And the winner of that would play Baylor.
That's correct.
And the winner of that would play Tech.
That's correct. On Thursday night at 6.
So if you're a Red, we're not even going to be there when K-State and Arizona State play. We're not even going to be in Kansas City.
I don't know. I don't know what their travel schedule is.
I wouldn't be in Kansas City.
I heard over the weekend that there's a possibility that they would go up there on Tuesday, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what their itinerary is as far as that is concerned. I will tell you this. One of the things that I talked about a little bit last week was I wondered how, like on the women's side, how the teams that weren't there early, that got the double buys, because teams that get there and you get your tournament feet underneath you and you get that first game underneath you. Well, the top 4 seeds are the ones that advance to the semifinals.
I would think so, because unless you're playing, I mean, basically Oklahoma State got a gift. They got to play a low seed that had played and won 2 games in 2 consecutive days, and so they're now playing a team. They're cardiac, and it was in the Red Raiders, in the Lady Raiders.
Well, I would tell you this: the reason why Tech lost the game on Friday night, why the Lady Raiders lost, was the missed shots in the first half.
Okay.
Was the missed shots in the first half?
Well, I mean that's
and
I was proud of them.
I don't. Look, I'm not the one that played, but just from my observation, and I was around them a lot, I didn't. There wasn't any discussion of tired legs or 3 days and 3 games and all that. Because here's the thing: they got to play at night each time.
Yeah.
So
and at the end of the
you got
day,
about 22 hours between each game.
At the end of the day, they're still 18 to 22-year-olds.
That's exactly right.
I mean, I remember being on a bender, and bouncing back and
that's
and doing stuff.
Well, that's it's not like they played at 8 and then had to play at 11, which was what they had to do last year.
Yeah.
So the recovery, but again, and we can talk about this later, but the reason you lost against Oklahoma State was you missed an opportunity when the big girl was out in the first half, and you missed too many layups in the first half of play where you could put some points on the board and gain some confidence.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Time for this day in sports history. Our special guest history reader, George Christopher Snead.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you, Jeff.
It's always a production.
It is a production.
Mayans are wrong.
Don't be premature, Chuck.
Okay.
Today is March 10th, year of our Lord, 2025. That's right, Chuck. The Mayans were wrong. Mm-hmm. We're all going to make it. I hold up my formerly nicotine-stained fingers.
How much did you really smoke?
I never smoked a time.
Okay.
I dipped.
Okay. Okay, that's the nicotine. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have not had a dip since New Year's Eve.
Okay, good for you.
Yep. 1963, Chuck. San Francisco Warriors center Wilt Chamberlain scores 70 points in a 163-148 defeat of the Syracuse Nationals at Onondaga War Memorial. Say it with confidence, Chuck. What do we know about Wilt Chamberlain? Prolific score. Exactly. All right. 1983.
Why aren't they the San Francisco Warriors today? Because they're in San Francisco. It just doesn't make
sense. It's Golden State. They represent the entire state. At least the golden part of it. 1983, Chuck, former Brooklyn/LA Dodgers manager Walt Austin is elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Okay.
1985, Chuck, Dallas Maverick coach Dick Motta is the fourth NBA coach to win 700 games. He did not do that all with the Dallas Mavericks.
No,
obviously.
he was well-traveled.
Yes, when he got there.
Kind of an angry dude, too.
Yeah, he was. He really wore that suit well, though. Really poured him into it. 1991, Eddie Sutton is the first NCAA coach to lead 4 different schools into the NCAA playoffs. Can you name those schools? Can you name any of them?
For Eddie Sutton?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Arkansas, Creighton.
Okay, you got it. Okay, I was going to see if you could get the fourth one. You got the fourth one.
And Oklahoma State. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to see if you get the fourth one.
Yeah, and Rick Pitino, man, he's gonna have a whole hand in there.
He's also a prolific scorer. Loves the Italian. All right, 2022. After a 99-day lockout, Major League Baseball and the Major League Baseball Players Association reach a new collective bargaining agreement where MLB players are set to play a full 162-game season in 2022. How did you feel about that work stoppage?
I hated the work. I've hated every one of them.
I think it's agreed on both sides.
Yeah, I've hated every one of them.
Fans lose every time.
Yeah.
2022 also, former Red Raider Terrence Shannon, then current Red Raider, leads the Red Raiders with 15 points and 3 steals, while Kevin McCullough, oh my God, what are we doing here, Jeff? and scores 11. O'Banner and Adonis Arms.
There's another one.
No, those 2 guys stayed.
Adonis Arms stayed the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember, he came in.
Okay.
He was he's not the Gardner Webb dude. He was the Winthrop.
Okay.
And he both had 10 in a 72-41 quarterfinal win over Iowa State at the Big 12 tournament.
Nice.
It's National Blueberry Popover Day, Chuck. How do you feel on the popover?
What is a popover?
It's kind of like a jump over, but it's more of a popover. I should have said something more along the lines of a mom over.
I really don't know. Is it like a muffin or
It's
something?
probably like a turnover.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
The better joke would have been, it's not quite like the mom over.
Okay.
It's National Pack Your Lunch Day, Chuck. Did you pack your lunch today?
Did not.
You should have.
Generally speaking, in school, though, I did. Like high school and junior high and
What
grade
was your
school.
favorite meal to pack? And what was your favorite treat in that pack?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. Probably some, I
was an oatmeal cream pie / Star Crunch dude. Little Debbie.
Oh, see, we couldn't afford that.
Yeah, that was, well.
Remember, there was a point where Chuck Heinz comes in very excited one morning to talk about the wonderful, awesome hot chocolate that his wife made the night before with real milk. And he was so proud of the lucky lady that he could not wait to tell us about how awesome she was.
Yeah, right.
Born on this day, Carrie Underwood.
I'm out on Carrie Underwood. I never really cared.
She's
cared
waiting
for
all day for Sunday night. So she's 42. Born on this day.
Oh, that Carrie Underwood. Yeah. Yeah, that Carrie Underwood.
What other Carrie Underwood are you talking about?
I was thinking of somebody else.
What other Carrie Underwood? You thinking of some Carrie Underwood that would she break up with you in high school?
No.
No.
I was just thinking of
Carrie Fisher?
I was thinking of Carrie Fisher.
What?
Yeah.
And that's the wrong answer, too.
That's also
but I'm
the wrong
just trying to come up with an answer here.
Carrie Underwood, yeah.
You hate Princess Leia?
Yeah, I've never seen that.
He's never seen
That's
it.
right, yeah.
But
born on this day, Olivia Wilde.
Okay.
41. Born on this day, the original Madman, John Hamm. 54. Born on this day, Lucas is happy today, Lucas White. San Diego Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert, 27.
He's with the Los Angeles Chargers now.
Born on this day, author of the best scene potentially on the leg crossover ever, Sharon Stone.
Oh, God.
Not mad at that. She's 67, Chuck.
Okay.
Born on this day, former Steelers safety Rod Woodson, 60.
60.
Gosh almighty, we're getting old. And born on this day, Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris.
85. He would still kick your tail.
Probably so.
Was he born today, or did he just allow today be declared as his birthday?
Exactly. He allowed his mother to let him come out on this day. He's 85 years old. That guy is in better shape than any person in this studio right now. And it's not even close. Dead on this day, still dead. He died on this day in 2007. Bud Allen, American golfer, 5 PGA Tour titles, dies of cancer at age 62. Okay. The street name Bud Allen is 5 streets away from the street that I grew up in El Paso.
Okay.
Larry Watkins, which in El Paso greatness was actually misspelled. It's supposed to be Lanny Watkins.
Lanny Watkins, right. Yeah.
And they forgot to change it. They just decided not to change it.
Is that it?
No, on this day.
Good God.
No, it's real history.
I know, but we don't have to give everything.
Chuck, I'm here.
All right.
We're giving everything. We give it all we've got. On this day, 1959, the first Barbie doll goes on display at the American Toy Fair in New York City. 11 inches tall, with a waterfall of blonde hair. Barbie was the first mass-produced toy doll in the United States with adult features. The woman behind Barbie was Ruth Handler, who co-founded Mattel, Inc. with her husband in 1945. And after seeing her young daughter ignore baby dolls to play with make-believe paper dolls of adult women, Handler realized there was an important niche in the market for a toy that allowed little girls to imagine the future. Thus, the Barbie. And that, Chuck,
this day in sports history.
This day in sports history.
Thank you. All right. This day in sports history. Thank you, Chris. All right. I'm going to read some things here off the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Okay. This one. You two going to tip around everything to avoid talking about baseball. It's the same thing during the football season because Chuck always has his knee pads on. No.
Wow.
Nope.
Wow.
We'll get to it. These guys won't address the Lady Raider program or baseball program. They'll continue to talk about crazy topics just to let time pass. Yeah, that's the goal. That's what we're doing. That's exactly. You exposed us.
Let's do that, Chuck. Let's talk about.
Well, I want to get to. I would love to talk some football. I would love to talk some football.
Why?
Because today's the start of spring football.
Let's talk. Let's appease the people and let's talk some baseball and let's talk some Lady Raider basketball.
All right, we'll do that. Next.
We have plenty of time to talk football.
We'll put Joey McGuire on hold. Sorry, Coach. We'll put you on hold.
Is he calling in?
No.
I mean, he's not putting him on hold.
No, I was trying to be funny. Okay.
You failed.
But hey, if he wants to call in, we're always willing to take his call. But he's in the midst of it right now. He's drawn up plays.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Here on the Morning Drive.
It's all right, everybody. It'll be okay.
Okay.
Chuck's doing the radio guy. Can't tell him everything.
Well, right.
You know what? Here's the deal. We can let the world know we as radio guys don't have the whole thing figured out.
I understand that. This from Gordo. Dear Snead, how are you? I am fine. Speaking of National Pack Your Lunch Day, my wife packed my lunch this morning. We've started eating really healthy, and eating my own food units helps a ton. Thank you for the National Pack Lunch talk that you give us. Gordo. P.S. Please tell Chuck Gordo says hello.
Hey, Chuck. Gordo says hello.
Thank you, Gordo.
And Mrs. Gordo, thanks for packing Gordo's lunch today. What did you pack him? And
no, we don't need to know that.
I'm curious to know what people. It's Pack Your Lunch Day.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Curious to know what people got.
What do you think is wrong with the baseball team?
Do you want it in alphabetical order or order of importance?
Order of importance.
A couple of highlights. What you see?
One, pitching is bad. I mean, and I'm not even going to sugarcoat the fact that they got some. No, pitching's bad right now. I mean, Zane Petty had a great performance and literally shaved 6 points off his ERA. And
Matt Ewer had a good performance too.
He got his ERA all the way down to 7. So the fact of the matter is, you've got a pitching staff whose combined ERA right now, as a staff, a Power 5 baseball program, as a staff, has a 7.02. 2 ERA right now. And you think that's, we're having a hard time. This program is having a hard time figuring out what it wants to do from a pitching staff. We have starting pitchers that will go well until something bad happens behind them. And you see the body language shift, you see the shoulders slump, you see the here we go again, and the next thing they do is, well, I got to make a pitch, and then they throw one over the plate, and it gets hit into the gap for a double, and now runs are scoring. And there's a beautiful, Gus sums it up beautifully, and he talks about the calamity that happens behind a pitcher when something bad goes wrong. It's this lack of handling of adversity. And that is a problem for this pitching staff right now, because it is a lack of faith that the players behind them will make the plays that are presented to them. And, these guys, possibly have some truth to that, because let's face it, they haven't had plays made behind them. You've got errors all over the place. We're 4 errors on Saturday night. We've got plays. It's not necessarily errors. It's plays not made. It's not a you don't catch a foul pop fly and then the next guy and give the guy new life and the guy hits a double, and you drop a third strike and then we pick it up and we throw it in the outfield. Those things like that. It's not the errors. It's the plays not made. And those lead to crooked numbers, and the crooked numbers lead to big innings, and the big innings lead to just the calamity of here we go again. And the body language of our players is not good. And I'm not talking about the fielders and the batters and the pitchers. It's all the way around, and it's not a thing, because it's just, well, we know we should get rid of Matt Gardner. No, it's not. This team's not playing good defense, and even though the team's hitting 280 as a team, they're not getting much clutch hitting right now. And you're not getting much coming up with runners in scoring position and getting runs scored. At one point this season, one hour was early in the year, this team was something like 1 for 20. Just a really god awful number with runners in scoring position, and it became comical that we couldn't get a run home, And
you've played really good teams, though, too.
Yeah, I'm getting tired of hearing that.
Okay.
I'm getting sick and tired of hearing, the schedule is so tough. Yeah, this team's not playing well.
There's
period. I don't think
there's truth to both sides, though.
Okay, then the fact of the matter is you're a 124 RPI right now. This team's RPI is 124. You dropped.
Unfortunately, you can't worry about that right now.
You dropped 52 points this week. 52 points, 52 places you dropped this week in RPI. And everyone's asking, what's wrong with this team? Well, where do you start? You're not pitching it well. You're not fielding it well. You're kind of hitting it well, but not when it matters. You get a lot of hits when you're down 10 runs.
Well, and now what you're faced with is Big 12 play.
It's Big 12 play. So guess what? You're going to go to Houston this weekend, and yeah, they played Minnesota and Cal and somebody else, I think Incarnate Word or somebody, but they're 11-2, and they got an RPI in the 80s, and they don't really care that you're struggling right now. A lot of times the roles were reversed. They were 11-2, and you were. You were the 11-2 team, and they were the 3-11 team. And you come to town and you clown them for 3 games, and we all giggled up in the stands at Cougar High and blah, 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 blah. And now we're going to go down there, and then the roles are reversed. And their fans are going to be gigging up there at Texas Tech and how bad we're playing. And if you think anyone's going to go, Texas Tech's having a bad season. No one cares in the Big 12. So you better get after it, because, until this team can show you that they can play 3 clean games in a row on a weekend. Your Friday night guy's got a 7 ERA. You got a guy. Zane Petty throws well, and he gives you 6 solid innings this weekend, and the bullpen comes in there and makes brown in their pants.
Is Friday night the low point in the season to you?
No, it's not. I mean, and this sad part is like you turn this all around in Big 12 play, but you're getting dangerously close to putting yourself in a position where you're going to have to win the Big 12 to get to postseason, either the tournament or regular season. You're dangerously close to that right now, and you could be there. I mean, you could be there after this weekend.
It's just amazing how quickly this. I mean, we're almost a month into the season. When you play on Friday, you'll be a month into the season.
You are coming close to the 1/4 pole. I think the 1/4 pole comes during this weekend's game.
Okay.
I mean, that's because, and
I'm not sure.
You are what you are at this point. You're not. There's not like, well, we're going to get to this point and we're going to start doing this. No. You are what you are at this point. You are a 3-11 team, and you are a team that can't pitch. You're a team that is a fairly poor fielding team. Right now, let's see. Your fielding percentage is at 958. That's not good. That is 958 is not good. You are gosh almighty. You were running with 20 errors on the season. 14 games, 20 errors.
And your opponents have 15.
Well, I mean, but still, you're rolling, about one and a third errors per game. And you're getting them at key times, at key positions, and it's not even errors, it's just plays not made. I don't know how else to say. You can't sugarcoat it anymore. I mean, it's just as my text group said this week, we can't seem to get out of our own way.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3, presented today by someone not named Jamie, is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
That's your cue.
I know. I'm there. Hi, gentlemen. It's been a tough baseball season. What?
Nothing. Nothing.
It's been a tough baseball season for our Red Raiders. Non-conference slate, other than midweeks, is now over, and this team sits at a 3-11 record. Mm-hmm. My question to you is simple. Do you think the Red Raiders can turn this around in a conference that is no longer the beast of a conference that it has been in the past? So do you think that the Red Raiders have an opportunity to make waves in the Big 12 conference season? The answer
Absolutely.
Is okay, Chuck's on board for the yes. Yes or no?
It's just, that's it? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would like you to expound upon that, but I mean, sure.
Yeah, I would like to think that you can. I mean, I'd like to think that they're not going to just roll over and take this and die. I mean, you've got on the road this week to Houston. I mean, I don't know how difficult Houston is, but I mean, I know TCU's tough. I know playing at K-State is tough. I don't know about Cincinnati. They're coming here. Baylor, they're coming here. I would think going down to Arizona State, they take a lot of pride there. So does Arizona. You got West Virginia and Morgantown. Yeah, it's a challenge, and you've got to play BYU and Provo. So you got quite a bit of traveling left to do. In terms of your Big 12 road games in places that you may or may not be familiar with. But I'd like to think that they can turn it around. Can they get above 500? I'd love to think so. I mean. So can they turn it around? Yeah, I mean, I think they can. You just need to go sweep Houston. Jeff?
Do I think they can turn it around? No. Yeah. You are almost a month into the season. You are what your record says you are with a 3-11 start. You do not pitch well enough. You do not defend well enough. You do not hit well enough to make that kind of charge. You've seen flashes from one individual guy, one individual at bat. Nothing consistent. You are an inconsistent, bad baseball team.
I'm somewhat torn on this, even though it's my own question. I lean more towards what Jeff says for this reason. This team, to this point, has not shown that it can handle adversity. And one bad thing leads to two bad things, which leads to calamity. And until this team shows that it can weather storms and weather the adversity and shake off things, turn the page, play the next play, win pitches, I think that this will be a difficult road for the Red Raiders the rest of the way. So right now, I lean more towards the no than the yes. And I know mine was a yes/no question, so I want to say no.
No. Okay. All right. This from the Yates. That's a pretty simple question with a complicated answer because the only people that can take care of this are the players themselves.
Exactly.
At some point in time, the players got to play. They are digging a hole, and you can't pry the shovel out of their hands. Marquis says a big gift-wrapped no. Okay.
And I hate that as a long time, and I'm talking about since 1988 Texas Tech baseball fan. This pains me because this is the start. This harkens back to the late 80s, early 90s starts that we had with Larry Hayes when we would go out to Arizona and you weren't taking a team nearly as talented as what we have on our roster right now out to Arizona. And you were playing against, the University of Arizona, Arizona State, and you would get a game with Grand Canyon in there. And did you realize, I heard this stat, Grand Canyon has won 10 of the last 14 games with Texas Tech going back to 1999.
Wow.
1999. Holy smokes. Let's quit playing those guys.
This from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Unfortunately for Jeff, he knows what a bad baseball team looks like. Wow, that's harsh. The way they're playing, they'd find a way to lose to Iowa State.
It ain't harsh if it's true. That's all I'm saying.
I think the Iowa State, no, that's not true. I was about to say, I think Iowa State's last game against Texas Tech, they actually won, but that's not true.
NIL's a problem, yes. Facilities, yes. I think facilities less than what it was.
Hey, hold on. Facilities from a player standpoint is not a problem. Facilities from a field, surface, lighting, outfield, bullpen, everything standpoint, not a problem. Facilities from a fan amenity standpoint,
no question,
problem.
Yeah,
no. That is a from a field aesthetics. It's a tough question. Dan Law and Rip Griffin Park at Dan Law Field is a field promotion a place that a lot of schools would die to have, including the place we just played. Grand Canyon would die to have the facilities that we have, the surface, everything, the lighting, everything that we have. But the sandbox we want to play in, with the people that we want to be compared to, we are woefully behind.
Yeah. 7:40 this morning here on the morning drive. The boom, boom, boom is next, and then we'll have our spelling bee challenge, our first one this year. Chris will provide a word. I will spell. We'll see if I can do it.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Chris Snead is in for Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire. I'm Chuck Heinz. We come to you from the First United Bank studio. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com for that. The mobile app is open for you. It's presented by Happy State Bank. Visual Edge IT hotline is 806-771-0973. That's 806-771-0973. The Snead pronounced it correctly. Chuck spelled it the way he himself always says it. Okay.
Just saying.
Chuck, I've seen you all over town, and I've never seen you wearing knee pads like your viewers talk about on this show. Do you wear them under your dress slacks?
Wow.
I do not. I do not wear knee pads anymore. I have no need for knee pads.
I mean, I get what the original texter was trying to say, but I mean, I guess if you don't come on the air and
that's an easy shot, right?
It's an easy shot. That you're the mouthpiece for the university. You're not going to say anything negative about the. Hey, you know what? Do you think I enjoy saying things that are not?
No, because we're all fans.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
We're all fans. We want them to win.
I am a almost 30-year season ticket holder for Texas Tech baseball. I mean, I bought my first set of season tickets. In fact, I'm exactly a 30-year season ticket. I bought my first season tickets in 1995 for Texas Tech baseball. And I have been sitting in the same seats with the exception of moving from first base side to third base side, or third base side to first base side, for 30 years. And it's frustrating for me. I've got to watch a lot of good times. I've watched a lot of bad baseball too. 95 was fun. I mean, I started watching baseball when I came with my student tickets, for a long time. And, for a long time, it didn't matter. You didn't have to have season tickets to come to baseball, until about 95. And then it started to matter.
All right. We'll shift to basketball. Yeah. And it's an exciting time right now on the men's side because they're heading to Kansas City this week for the Big 12 tournament, and the city is ready. I was there last Tuesday through Saturday. We got home Saturday afternoon, and the T-Mobile Center is ready. It looks great. I know people don't necessarily care for the floor, but it's not bad.
Have you watched a game on TV with it?
No.
You've been sitting there. It's hard to watch a game on TV
because it's cluttered.
It's busy.
It's funny because it was either before Thursday's game or Friday's game. I think it was Thursday's game because I think it was the second game. Brett Yormark, the commissioner of the Big 12, was there. And he was at the end of the court, and he had somebody with him, and he was pointing to something on the floor. So I was like, I don't know if it's something he didn't like, but it didn't feel sticky like TCU's floor.
Okay. I don't know. I've never been on TCU's floor.
Well, I'm just going to tell you it feels a little sticky.
Everyone says it feels sticky because you said that. Level said that.
Okay.
I
didn't realize Chris had said that.
Yeah.
And I do feel it feels sticky. But the Big 12 tournament will get underway tomorrow morning at 11:30 with the 13 seed Cincinnati and the 12 seed Oklahoma State. Then Colorado and TCU. Then Arizona State and Kansas State, and that's the game to look at. Because potentially you could be playing one of those teams, although I don't think so. I think what's going to happen is...
What is the fourth game of the day?
Fourth game of the day is UCF and Utah.
I say that because there's not a single traditional Big 12 game in that first round.
There's not a single what?
Traditional Big 12 game.
No, there's not. And potentially you'd have one on Wednesday if Oklahoma State wins because Iowa State's the 5 seed. West Virginia's the 8th seed. They're somebody to watch out for.
West Virginia?
Yeah, I think so.
They can get on a run?
I think they can get on a little bit of a run.
I don't think so.
But it's going to be a little run because they might beat TCU or Colorado, but they're not going to beat Houston. And then... K-State, I think K-State's got a chance to get on a little bit of a run. They'll certainly have the crowd behind them. And then I still think UCF is a team that I don't necessarily want to play. But you wouldn't have to play them until the semis, and then they would have to get by Utah, Kansas, and potentially Arizona. Arizona would be the team that they would face in the quarterfinals if they get by Utah and Kansas. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Somebody says that floor looks like they're playing on congregated metal.
Corrugated.
Corrugated. Thank you.
Congregated metal.
Corrugated.
Congregated metal.
I knew that wasn't right when I said it, and I looked at it. I just couldn't come up with a word in my head.
Congregated metal horse name.
Corrugated metal floor. Lady Raiders concluded their season on Saturday. At least I think they did.
I think they should be playing postseason. I mean,
I don't know that opportunity is there. They fell to Oklahoma State 62-59. It just didn't make enough shots.
If they get invited to the postseason, and I think the WBIT is now the second tier.
BIT is the second tier.
If
right.
they get invited to the second tier BIT, I think you should go. And I don't think that program is in a position to turn down / poo-poo.
I don't think anybody's going to. I don't think anybody's poo-pooing.
We pooed it last year.
Yeah, because the only place that you had maybe a potential opportunity to go was the third tier, which you have to pay to go to. And look, from an economic standpoint and from a pure business standpoint, if you're having to pay to go to the WBIT with how things stand right now, because you're probably not going to have an opportunity to play at home with events that are scheduled at the arena, from a business standpoint, it doesn't make much sense. And I think the team finished on a bit of a high by winning, 3 of its last 4 and coming really close to beating Oklahoma State. I think at this point in time, you're going to gear up for next year.
Okay,
that's what I think is going to happen.
I would. I mean,
there wasn't any discussion Friday night after the game or even Saturday coming home that there would be any kind of thought of playing any more basketball. At least that I was around.
That's disappointing.
Well, but I mean, I think you finished 17-17. You didn't have the year that you wanted to have. You won that one game against Colorado to finish out your regular season, and then you beat Kansas, you beat Utah, and you came up short against Oklahoma State. Maybe if you'd have beaten Oklahoma State, you could make that case. But I think at this point in time, you're gonna start gearing up for potentially what could happen on the 25th of March. We can get into that. With Aaliyah Chavez's announcement, and then what potentially you could get in the portal, and seeing what happens, with the rest of your program. But I expect Krista Gerlich to be back, and I don't know how the rest of that's going to shape out, but that's what my expectation is today.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.